Da-na-na-na. Yo, what's going on,
That's
y'all?
how we started with it.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Man came with it.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Listen, all that. It's Fins Week, man.
With the energy.
It is Fins Week,
Said
man.
switch to fish early.
Listen, man. I'm ready to just get into it, get over it, and close out this year the way we should. But anyway, y'all, this is Val. We back. This is Z over here.
And we in the zone with V and Z, baby.
You already know,
Here
man.
for another week in flesh, in person.
In person.
No Zoom this week, baby.
No Zoom. So
We
if you
here,
want to
we
watch
live.
this week and enjoy, watch. We here. We in the flesh. Man, different kind of week. A bunch of different small topics to get to.
I feel like a ton. It's a lot.
It
for
do,
us.
and that's why I didn't want to say a whole lot. But I mean, we got some things to get to. That makes me want to say, where do we start? Do we start with the last game?
We might start with the news.
Okay, we can start with the latest stuff.
That's been
So,
going on.
Let's start
Switch it
with.
up a little bit.
We can go right to Jerry Sullivan first, because I feel like in a podcast, most people click and listen to at least the first 2 minutes. And since me and you are two guys, we've been around sports probably since birth, and you know, we both got women in our family. Who likely know sports. I know I can speak for my family. I know I got
Definitely your family.
I got a sister that's very involved. Shout out to Jamila. And my little sister, she watched some football and some basketball too. And
She got enough to get around.
yeah, you know, my mom has been around it for a while, you know, having to watch games, sometimes by default because me and my dad is watching, you know, especially growing up. But yeah, so what happened was, and I'll just get straight to it, was Jerry Sullivan, former Buffalo News journalist for several years. I mean, I'm talking 25, 30 plus years.
Decades. Currently at what? Niagara Gazette,
which I heard they might have let him go. I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
He was on a podcast recently, a few days ago, and he said some comments regarding women who comment on sports, women fans, you know, kind of saying something around, you know, they're more like cheerleaders. They don't really
Can't handle critical journalism or
critical
something along the lines.
journalism.
Either way,
and
just something extremely
it was something
distasteful.
it was something distasteful that a lot of fans didn't appreciate. You know,
Thing is, what gets me is like when you have a fan base is devoted and diehard as a Bills.
yeah, as vocal, as enthusiastic.
It's not all men.
Yeah, definitely not.
Like
I think I clicked on the Bills Mafia Babes page the other day. They got like over 40,000 followers. I know they got a bunch of followers, but like, yeah, the fan base is strong all the way
how can
around.
you be that naive to really think?
Make a little slick comment. And that's
Like it's half the fan base of women. Half the fan base is just as knowledgeable as men.
right.
And I see more men complaining on Twitter and whining about stuff than women.
Yeah, I've heard more males call into the radio with more ridiculous comments.
Right, and hurt and emotional. You don't talk about that. Like
Right.
That's unrelated to gender, period. But like the
Right.
fact that it's 2022 and people still have those,
You know,
thoughts and
go
opinions. It's
basically stick to the, you know, go to the kitchen type comments.
might as well.
That's basically what
It's the same.
it was like a joke, but
Ha ha ha. No.
yeah, but it's just that what we have to realize, and I'll get more of your view on this in a second, is that when you have a platform, no matter how small it is, no matter how big it is, you have to realize people who click on it are going to listen and they're going to pay attention, even when you least expect it. So when you're saying a joke or when you're saying something slick about, it can be a certain race, gender, it don't matter what you're saying. You have to be careful how you say it. Like, I'm all for joking. If you know me, you know, I'm always around for a good laugh. I'm always around for, you know, back and forth, you know, with my guys or with whoever. But you have to understand, you know, when you're talking sports and when you're talking knowledge and when you're talking who knows what, you really can't make it gender specific, especially like you said, in 2022, you have so many women out there right now in the sports field are doing great things on TV. I mean, we're seeing
everywhere,
like analysts, coaches, reporters, journalists,
agents.
Yeah. So it's not even like, if you want to joke about some shit like that off off air with your mans, knock yourself out. But you gotta know, and he's old enough in the game to know when the shit start rolling, and when you being filmed, you gotta be careful what you say.
Because they was having a couple drinks, he felt comfortable, yada yada yada. But either way, like, listen, you put anything like that out over the internet and over the waves,
you should know.
You deserve to get dealt with. However,
and this is a passionate fan base.
You already know something like that happened. You're gonna be getting your job. Gonna be getting calls, emails, DMs.
I didn't appreciate this.
Yeah,
and you and the people got a right to be upset because we all get bothered and touched by certain things. I know in the past, I've seen things online that have bothered me in certain ways. So I can only imagine, the Bills fans who woke up, the woman who woke up, who know their sports, who know their stuff, and saw that and was just like, wow, we just wake up to this. Like, we got to get...
What sucks? This is only one person. I mean, I've seen so many men on Twitter coming at women just for having a sports opinion. They can say a legitimate opinion on sports, and all of a sudden,
like, somebody
respond with, "Yeah, shut your fat ass up."
Yeah, or
shut up, pig.
or look
or
at
whatever
your face.
It may be.
Yeah, like go show your tits or something crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, why do you even have to take to that extreme? Because if I said the exact same comment as her, your response is not going to be the same to me.
Right. Is this going to be a back and forth?
I don't understand why people feel the need to take it there.
It's still old.
Like, people take offense to a woman having a sports opinion.
Right. But it goes back to, for me, and we'll move on from this, but I just wanted to make sure as a a male.
Yeah, as you know what it is here.
Yeah, like they know where we stand. But like I go back and I look at reporters right now on ESPN and different channels, like even TNT. I look at a Taylor Rooks, right? For those who know, Malika Andrews. And there's more of them out there, but sometimes I hate the fact that we sexualize them as reporters and stuff. Like, because if you look at it, some of the reporters who we given a lot of praise to from the men's side is more so just based on how they look. When we should be really appreciating what they bring to a table from a knowledge standpoint,
I think there is some truth
from really like real reporting. Like I look at Taylor Rooks and I've seen a couple of her interviews, and yeah, she looks nice, she dresses nice, all that, but she be really giving good ass interviews.
Yeah, but it's weird, but she has to overcompensate being an attractive woman.
Yeah,
so it's like
she's talked about that too.
Like it takes away from my craft and my brand because.
Because I dress nice,
I'm attractive,
I look good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my fault.
But
but does the same apply to a Jalen Rose or from a Stephen A. Smith? Like, it's weird. It's a weird time right now. But on a positive, if we can flip it to a positive, we do want to shout out the woman out there in the sports world and locally, especially because this was obviously a local situation. So people who don't live in Buffalo might not even know who Jerry Sullivan is. Right. But for those women out here in Buffalo who have a platform, who are part of the Bills Mafia babes, any of that stuff, just to the average fan out there, from us, we appreciate.
Keep being you.
We appreciate the content. We appreciate the support that you show this team, because honestly, there is no Bills Mafia without the women who are out here. Whether they're with their husbands, whether they're with their brothers, whether they're just out there alone with their homegirls, like. Right. We should be celebrated as one whole fan base, and we all know how toxic this fan base can be. I say it plenty of times. Sometimes you just got to mute accounts or mute words, because I will say sometimes I don't even see half of the Bills Mafia drama online because I be having so many people muted where I'm just like, oh, y'all got shit going on in y'all timeline? I don't even know what y'all talking about because I don't see it on my timeline. So I kind of get disappointed when certain stuff hit my timeline because I'm like, damn, I thought I had everybody. But this was something I think that hit a lot of different people within our fan base, so I couldn't escape this one. But like I said, me and Zyrus, y'all should know where we stand. We support all takes from all people, all genders, all races. Yeah, whether I agree or not, I'm quick to be like, all right, that's your opinion, salute. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. That's how you feel.
You got your right to speak your mind.
Fact, man. Listen, man. We all got phones, and we can all tweet or text what we want. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. But we wanted to get that out the way. For first. But next, Cyrus, I wanted to ask you, we woke up to some news about another slot receiver who I don't know if a lot of people seen this coming, but
hell no.
It happened.
I woke up this morning and was like, man, Cole Beasley. Ain't no Buffalo.
So Cole Beasley, man, your initial thoughts and then where you're at right now with it in your mind.
I mean, the signing makes sense. I mean, I didn't see it coming because I just with him, retiring and, having a quick stint with Tampa and wanting to hang it up, I didn't even expect him to be on the radar. Right. I didn't expect him to be open to it.
Kids.
Based on some of his past tweets, I didn't think he had any interest in coming back.
Yeah, it was looking iffy.
But, I mean, the signing makes sense, again, because that safety blanket has not been there for Josh this season. Everything.
The second and short, third and short.
Third downs has been such a struggle.
Been brutal.
So, again, if we have someone, I always say someone like
the crazy
Cole,
thing is,
no, it is,
I'll pause you right there. The crazy thing is, we still top 3 in the league in third down conversions, which is nuts. But that's mainly a Josh Allen stat.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been saying we want someone like Cole Beasley who is 3rd and 4 who can give me 6 yards.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 8, go give me 11. Like, just find the soft spot in the zone and get there. So again, them signing him back, as long as he is physically up to the challenge.
I mean, there's no Odell yard too. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe in the offseason. Maybe in March.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Odell got to be looking like, damn, the two teams I visited, Dallas and Buffalo. Dallas signs T.Y. Hilton, and we signed Cole. So that nigga like, damn. But it's probably because of the injury.
I mean, he know what it is.
I think the reports were that he wasn't going to be back for another 4 to 5 weeks anyway.
Yeah, and if that's the time frame, there's no ramp-up period. There's no time to build any chemistry with the
real market.
Yeah,
hit the real market.
Yeah, that's a...
Don't even do that to yourself.
If you were ready now, then that's a different story.
Yeah,
but if you're really not...
Nah. It's different. Yeah. Like you said, you got to get that chemistry down pat. You got to learn the offense.
Right, because I'm not trying to go into the playoffs on the fly. And
in a meaningful game, you think we just going to throw you out there just because you Odell?
Right.
No, I'm good.
So, whatever. If they want to reevaluate the situation in March, have at it. I don't care.
And I'm all for that. Because all you doing with John Brown and Cole Beasley, in my opinion, is making sure... You keep it a C1, but you also like, all right, cool. For the next 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, at least we got guys who know the system,
who can just come in,
who Josh is comfortable with, and we got young guys who we know they can develop in the offseason. We can still work with Khalil in the offseason. We can still bring back Stevenson for training camp if we want to.
Right.
We can still draft a guy if we wanted to, because I think what happened was, and
realize this receiving core ain't getting it done right now.
Right, and I made a tweet earlier where I made a comment about that, where I just said, GMs number one aren't perfect, and I think being in this situation, he might have really thought, okay, we got Gabe Davis going into technically, what is this, year 3 or 4?
This is 3, I think.
Year 3, yes, because 2020 was year 1. Yeah. So you got Gabe Davis going to year 3. You would think, yes, year 3 is normally where that receiver makes that jump. So you think, okay, boom, he can step into the 2. Isaiah McKenzie is having a great spring camp, great training camp. You're like, cool.
And I really think they just expected Crowder to really take that spot.
Well, right, I was going to say it was 3 people. They looked at McKenzie, Crowder, and Khalil and said these 3 guys should collectively, not one of them get 80 catches, 90 catches like Cole, but should collectively be able to fill that role.
Yeah.
Which, if you watch Khalil in college or if you watch his tape, you'd be like, cool. If you watch Crowder for most of his career, cool. If you watch McKenzie at times, you like, cool. So I get that the fun thing is right now is to pick on Brandon Beane for kind of missing on not attacking that draft position. I mean, that wide receiver position earlier, like maybe day 1. But to me, that pressing need was still corner.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know if Tre'Davious White, look what happened. He didn't come back until late November.
The thing is, I think they knew a hole existed, but the way that the draft board fell, it was a wrap. Like,
and then those 3 receivers went in like the first 20 picks.
Yeah, it was a mean run on receivers before they even had a chance to.
Yeah, it was like 10,
to scoop one.
10 through 18.
And the same thing happened again in round 2.
Yeah,
that's why you kept drop back. Drop back.
Exactly.
Drop back.
And I think
it kept happening. It kept being another run on receivers. So,
and you never know. You never know the conversations. You never know who exactly was that person. Maybe they said, hey, in round 1 we will get a receiver if such and such is available. Yeah. So like you said, when they went on that run, it was kind of like...
Yeah, and the thing is, I saw some people like trying to dog Brandon Beane and the GM, his staff in general, for not, properly stocking the receiver room. But I'm like, shit. I'm happy they can swallow their pride enough to realize, like, hey, this ain't hit. So
Bro,
let's go.
They took 2 swings in December. When the last time we seen them do that? I mean, we saw them take a swing at Kelvin Benjamin 3-4 years ago, which was in early November, I think, that year.
Yeah, that was a trade deadline.
But when have we in the last 5-6 years of being see them take back-to-back swings at one position, back-to-back weeks, pretty much? So I'm happy that they, for one, are at least allowing Josh to communicate when he is having like a small issue that he feel like he needs to fix.
I mean, I like it better this way, just because in the. I mean, granted, I would have loved
for it to just work out
all
with
off season. I was pushing for a first round receiver. That's all I wanted. But again, it didn't work out that way. So like, I'm not tripping. But I'm happy that they're, like I said, not stubborn enough to just try to stand pat and be like, no, we good here. This is what we came with in the season. We gonna. They like shit.
Nah, they looking at the offense the way we
This ain't working. Josh reportedly is the one that pushed for these 2 signings. So he's like, hey, dog, this ain't working. And I'm happy that they allowed it to work out.
Yeah, and I think too, it goes back to what we've said week to week, even on here. We've said we wanted to see more from the receivers. We said we wanted to see the offensive play caller design some better things. And I still think it's a combination of both. I still think even with Cole and John Brown, you're not going to get exactly what you're looking for because everything still has to work. I still need to see more from the coordinator standpoint of, okay, but this is what I still have.
Yeah.
So how can I still make this work in the year 2022, 2023? Like, we can sit here and talk about Cole getting open and finding the soft spots and all that stuff is all cool. But I still need to know if Cole not out there or whoever's out there, I need to know, okay, if McKenzie's out there, we can still use him to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
If Gabe is out there, we can still find a way to use Gabe to maximize his potential, pretty much like Dave did. Because what Dable was able to do with Gabe was able to say, okay, yes, we understand Gabe is not a receiver we can put out there 100% of the snaps. But when we do put him out there, we need to make sure we're using him in a way where he can be effective, whether that's over the middle, whether that's just riding the sidelines and being that safety net for Josh when he gets out of the pocket. But I'm still looking for growth from the coordinator because I think that there's still some stuff there that we can still do and still work on more. Like, I'm not going to settle for, okay, the band is back, now everything is just going to be perfect. No, I need to see from a play call standpoint us get a little bit more creative at times. We were a little bit better in the red zone this week, so I was good to see that. You know, we got 2 touchdowns in the late second quarter, early third quarter. So that was good to see, but I'm still putting pressure on Dorsey, and I'm just like, dog, I need you to continue to show me stuff week in, week out. Because if not, then we're going to have to reevaluate you as a first-time coordinator in the offseason. Because let me tell you something, these numbers, and I know they play some good defenses. Like let's give credit where it's due. New England and the Jets aren't bad defenses. So I want to start by saying that. Like, the last 2 weeks, if we're judging where the Bills' offense is at, we just played 2 top 10 units. But they're still too talented for me, especially when they're healthy.
See, I don't know. I'm not with you on that one.
On the talent part?
Not on the talent part. No, I'm talking about on the Dorsey point. This is more, for me, more execution than it is
like
Dorsey.
drop passes and stuff?
Yeah, drop passes and missed opportunities. Again, I mean, schemed up. John Brown had an over-the-top shot dropped.
Yeah.
I mean,
good
defense, had a couple drops
open.
Knox had a couple drops open. That QB power Josh had in the fourth quarter that got stopped for 2 yards. That should have been a damn touchdown. Josh cut it up early and got tackled by Mosley. It was schemed perfectly. He would have kept it outside. That's a damn touchdown. So, like, I feel like a lot of it is execution.
Okay.
Because, again, I'm putting you in a position to make the play. I need you to make the play.
Right.
That's not me saying, I mean, Dorsey's still not perfect. I still think there is still meat left on the bone. But I also still think that a lot of this shit is execution. Josh misses passes. Someone misses a block here or there, and now the play is blown up.
I will say that missed pass over the middle.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the one I meant to point out. The slot corner covering Diggs fell. Like, Diggs is wide open. You catch that ball, that's more than likely a touchdown.
More than likely, yeah.
So, again, the scheme worked.
Right.
The execution didn't.
Right. And that's stuff that you hope that they clean up because I always say when it comes to issues with a talented team like we have, it's never just one thing. It's always going to be a bunch of different factors. My mindset is just, I hope that they can clean it up enough to where these last 3 or 4 games, they can come out and just look good from an execution standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. And I just want to see Josh also end the year strong. Like, we got so spoiled with seeing Josh almost compete for, FedEx Air Player of the Week every week or AFC Player of the Week. Like, we got spoiled, especially early this season. And if you even want to go back to last season, we got so spoiled into seeing that from Josh all the time that I'll just leave that stuff up. We got so spoiled from seeing that stuff all the time where it was like, wait a minute, you just threw for 160 yards? Wait a minute, you just threw for 220 and 1 tutty?
I mean, that's going to happen every now and again.
But that's the NFL.
And no one can keep that pace up all the time.
Right. That's the NFL, and there's always going to be a bunch of different factors. So I say all that to say we'll see what this effect this signing has for the rest of the year. I know he'll start off on the practice squad. For those who don't know, I mean, I'm sure if you live in Buffalo, you know, but Cole signed to the practice squad. He gets 3 elevations the rest of the regular season, so that's 3 out of the next 4 games. And then I think Sal Capaccio put out a tweet earlier that said that starting in the postseason, the practice squad players are not limited to a certain amount.
Correct.
So they can get elevated however many games, which is great to hear because, shoot, if they can go into however many playoff games with Diggs, Davis, John Brown, Cole Beasley, Isaiah McKenzie, and throwing Shakir or whoever, I'll be happy. Yeah. Give me that 6 any day of the week and make it work. Along with Dawson.
What's good about that, though, is technically they never really even need to be signed to the 53.
Exactly.
Which gives them just
and I think that's something that Brandon Beane thought about.
More flexibility from a 53 roster standpoint.
Right. We talk about being critical of Brandon Beane, but I think that's smart, too, is that he looking at it like, well, I know Brown only got 1 more call up in him this regular season, but if I get Cole, he got 3 more, and we can just figure it out. And who knows? You might even get, we might even get some more news on Jamison Crowder in the next couple weeks too, because I'm still looking at that too. I'm like, wait a minute, the actual Cole Beasley replacement is still actually on the team. He's just been hurt, and maybe you even get him for the playoffs. So the more the better. That's where I stand. The more options, the better. I don't agree with Cole being extremely negative at times on Twitter or on social media. If you didn't see me be like some people and pound the table and tap dance on the table when I heard that he came back, that's why. He did leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Some of the comments that he made over the last 2 to 3 months, basically saying he was good on Buffalo, and I know he said some things it has nothing to do with the fans, but it was more of a standpoint of, however he left with the team, but
it obviously wasn't that bad.
Obviously it wasn't that bad if you still came back. So that's the part of me is well, which side is it? Don't tell me it's, oh, I'm only coming back because of Josh, or I'm only coming back because of my teammates. No, you still had to sign with the employer, the Buffalo Bills, that you're going to be back in the facility and working with it. So who knows what really happened or how they mended that relationship overnight, basically. But if you didn't see me do the heel toe up and down the timeline, that's basically why. Dog, you acted like you didn't want no parts of coming back to Buffalo. And
there's receipts of that.
Man, the internet don't lie. Tweets don't lie. So
thing is, I don't care.
Right. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to be the first one to be like, oh, that doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and throw garbage on the field when he comes out there. I'm going to boo him. Nah, bro. If you making plays and doing what you got to do,
it's business.
We still in this mode where we just want to get to the Super Bowl and win it. We want to get to the Super Bowl and win the whole thing. So if the front office and the players on that team feel like this is what's best to help them get there, then salute. I'm just a fan.
It seemed like players are all on board.
Right, I'm just a fan. That's what people.
And that's said the floor is yours. I ain't doing that.
But I mean, listen. I thought that was a little extra because I'm just like, when you say the floor is yours, do you know that you possibly saying the floor is yours and I'm about to be inactive for a couple weeks?
Right. or I'm about to get 6 now.
Because it's gonna be one. Yeah, it's gonna be either you or Shakir. Because you're not catching punts or kick returns no more.
Nope.
So I did see that too, and I was kind of like,
oh, that's.
You being a teammate.
Oh, that's love.
Oh, you a teammate.
But I mean, again, but the thing is, I mean, that puts him probably in a role he's more comfortable in. Puts him back in his gadget role, get his jet sweeps on, get his couple over.
I don't know. I think Hines can take that role if you ask me, but that's just me.
McKenzie has a niche. He's good at what he does.
All right.
I don't think he's a full-time slot player, but in the role that he should be, and he's good at it.
We gonna see, man.
You can't tell me otherwise.
Listen.
Can't tell me otherwise.
Wow. Listen, all we can say is that he did have a chance to, somebody brought it in. These guys had 13, 14 weeks to solidify some role for them in that offense. If they felt like they needed to bring back John Brown, who ain't scored a touchdown in 2 years, and Cole Beasley, who was just sitting on his couch with his kids.
You can talk to everybody outside of Diggs. That's on everybody.
Yeah. Davis. I mean, what Davis got on the year? 13 catches?
Probably about 35.
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but listen, man.
So everybody outside of Diggs.
Right. Yeah. Diggs can't do it all, and I did sense a little frustration with the game, and, we can get kind of straight to that. I mean, the game is over, so, and this reminds me kind of the last Jets game we played where it wasn't too much to deep dive into, and this had a similar feel to it, but...
It was a game.
Man, I was about to say, I really don't have no deep... Like, I'd rather look forward, but...
It was a scrappy win.
Yeah.
A scrappy win against
ugly
a
weather.
Tough team. Again, two good defenses.
Right.
Slightly windy, cold, and rainy. Like, that's a recipe for...
And they still found a way to score 20 points.
A low-scoring game. And
they found a way to score 20.
They took some punches, but gave more punches back. Like, I mean,
right.
Again, it's another gritty... They've been winning gritty all year.
And that's the one thing I will say I do appreciate about the Jets game, much like the Cleveland game, much like the New England game, is that, and Josh has said it a couple times, even though he doesn't look overly thrilled post-game after these games because it's not the type of game he probably wants to have, but he's mentioned, like, hey, we're just finding ways to win, And
that's how it is, because when the offense is clicking, it's obviously one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
But they're showing everybody, but more importantly, they're showing themselves, like,
we
can win these
ways.
close,
we can win
ugly games if need be. If it's a situation where it's January and they're playing a good defense, or it's a bad weather game,
yeah,
they got
7 inches on the ground for us.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
They've already done, like, we won games like this all year.
Did the Baltimore game in the rain.
Like, we used to this. So, again, showing that you can win like this, but still knowing that when you're playing up to your potential, or even close to your potential,
you can blow a team out.
You can run like clockwork. So, like,
and that's why I do like this team. And there's really only 2 or 3 teams in this league, I will say, while we're on this topic, that can win in different ways, like the Bills. Mm-hmm. And one of those teams, for sure, from watching a little bit, is Philly. I think you can put Dallas in that category, and maybe Kansas City, but I'll probably say a healthy Cincinnati team.
It's different.
Yeah, I'll say a healthy Cincinnati team with Mixon. They remind me of a team that can win in different ways. But I think the Bills have shown proof, though, much like Philly. Yeah, Bills have shown proof in their last 2 months that they can be that team that can do whatever it takes. Listen, we going to fight and come out with a win. If our quarterback got to run for 50, if he got to throw for $175, but our defense holds you to 13 points, we going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I don't know if there's any other teams that's rolling out with a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. It's just...
Right. With all the injuries...
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You've had all these gritty and ugly ones, people complaining like, oh, but their offense is not going to potential, yada, 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 yada,
but
yada.
It's the top 3 in points.
This with half the time with a whole B squad on defense.
Right.
And Davis missing games.
Right.
Allen with the bum elbow.
Offensive line banged up.
Line dropping left and right.
Yeah.
Von Miller out for the year. Rousseau missing 4 games. So, like, they've been doing all this in spite of all the
case
injuries
of the drops,
and all this.
the
And with 10-3.
10-3 is beautiful.
This time last year, we were 7-6.
Yeah. And I told you, my prediction before the year was 13-3. I mean, 13-4. So I actually don't want us to lose another game because I want. So I kind of want to be wrong. I kind of want to be wrong, but this is about where I saw it, and I didn't think it was going to be.
I don't think there's anyone who would have, if you said at this point in the season Bills would be 10-3, I don't think there's anyone who would not take that.
Oh, hell no.
Everybody be like, bet. I'm taking that.
Whatever. You're not worried about what the scores was like.
Don't matter.
How many?
If I'm 10-3, I'm good.
Dog, we still number one in point differential in the league. I think it's like plus 150 or something like that. Plus 152.
More than that.
Something crazy. And it's like, again, when you're living in these towns, and I think I saw a Kansas City fan tweet the same thing, it's like these fan bases forget how difficult it is to win in a league. Like, you start to stack years of winning, then your fan base starts to slowly forget how tough it is. Yeah. I mean, we look at these graphics now in the hunt. In the hunt. You look at the NFC South.
12 years straight.
You look at the NFC South. You look at the AFC West that was supposed to be good. I mean, you got teams struggling.
AFC South.
Yeah, the AFC South. You see teams struggling to get above 500. Mm-hmm. And here we have 7 games above 500. Right. So, let's just get over that.
And the thing is, I feel like a lot of fans, I'm not going to just say Bills fans, I think a lot of fans in general only focus or only watch their team and don't look at other games. So, like, there's a lot of complaints about the Bills, but like, yo, have you watched any other games of the league and seen the quality of players and teams?
Have you watched Denver play?
Hey, have you watched Derek Carr?
Shoot,
have you watched the Raiders?
Shit, Arizona. I mean, like, it's some.
Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders pissed me off,
bro. Baker was.
That did happen since we.
One day.
Oh, that happened after we recorded.
Yeah. He was there for one practice.
That was crazy. I stayed up for that. Only good. Like, I remember I took off my glasses.
I'm watching this. I literally started laughing. I'm like, yo. Nah. I look at all the time.
That was a little bit past my bedtime. I
always say, listen, this half of the podcast is always
David Carr.
Derek Carr / Raiders slander fest. But I'm laughing. I'm literally in bed laughing like, this is really, you really about to let Baker drive all the way down the field with
Baker
after one practice with this new team?
Baker.
Raiders going Raiders, man.
Raiders going Raiders, man. Much like the Chargers. With the Chargers, shout out to them. They pulled it out against Miami.
Yeah,
I was glad to see that. I like that though because, and I know we bouncing around, but I like the fact that the Chargers were able to show you what they can look like when they're semi-healthy because they're not even all the way healthy.
Nah, and their defense was tore up, and they still found
a way.
You know what? Why I liked it even more because it made the wild card race even more.
It's sexy,
tight. Like I have no idea how that's going to play out.
Right.
I think whoever loses between the division between Cincinnati and Baltimore, I think they have a spot locked in.
Right. Other two, it's going to be what? Miami, Jets, Patriots. Chargers.
I mean, that's probably it.
Did you say Colts?
No.
Or are they out of it?
No, I mean,
what about
technically they're
Raiders?
still in it. I mean, they need to.
So really, okay. So let's put it like this. It'll really be like a 3. It'll really be a 3-team race. Yeah, it'll be Patriots.
It's 4 teams for 2 spots.
Oh no, not even. 4 teams. Right. Patriots, all the teams in our division, and the Chargers.
Correct. Let me just double check and see if there's anybody else that I'm missing.
Yeah. I mean, the Raiders is at right there with 7 losses, but I don't think nobody really thinks.
Yeah. They need.
I don't think they'll, because they're 6 and 7, I think. So like the Raiders, obviously they can win their next 3 or 4 and make it. They can win their next 3 and make it interesting.
Jaguars,
what's
Raiders,
their record? 6 and 7.
They both 5 and 8.
Oh no, they 5 and 8.
That's 2 games behind right now, behind the last spot.
So it's really a 4-team.
Jags get hot. I mean, that could happen. What they schedule?
What, go 9 and 8?
Cowboys, Jets, Texans, Titans. If they can get through the Cowboys,
that's the upset. That's this week.
Yeah. If Jags can get through the Cowboys, they got
no. Trevor Lawrence.
And then they play the Jets, which is in the mix.
We like that. Listen, I'll take the Jaguars sneaking in because I want the Jaguars.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence been looking better and better every week.
I still need the revenge from
There's no consistency.
I know. I still need the
winning standpoint.
Yeah. That's why I said I'd rather them sneak. No, matter of fact, timeout. If the Bills are really gonna grab the number 1 seed, I may want the better teams to make it. Like, I was thinking from a standpoint of letting the weak teams in.
I want the playoffs to somehow unfold to where
the Chiefs got to play somebody difficult.
Chiefs got to play somebody tough.
Chiefs play the Jets.
And in second round.
Nah, they can't score with them.
Listen, I want second round to end up Chiefs versus Bengals. That's what I want. I don't care how.
Oh, no, you mean wild card?
I don't expect either one of them to lose the first week.
Okay.
So I'm talking divisional round.
Okay.
So, however that unfolds, that's what I want to see.
I feel like we're going to end up just playing one of our division opponents.
One, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Right.
And two, I want one of them to knock each other out.
We're going to be stuck playing like the Jets or the Patriots again. Watch.
Whoever the Titans play, I think Titans going to lose.
Right.
So whoever end up playing the Titans, that's who we're going to end up
Or
playing.
the Dolphins 3 times. I don't know if I want.
I
don't know.
Don't bother me.
I don't care.
I'd rather play the Dolphins than the Jets.
A little bit, but the Jets still don't have a quarterback.
They got a defense.
They do, but
That's
the Jets
thing.
still not. I think this Bills defense.
Shoot, they're trying to end up 6-0.
Damn, Sabres balling. By the way, but I think that the thing that I'm liking, and I'll just say my one takeaway from the Jets game is that the Bills defense is building up that confidence where you're now seeing the growth of some of those young guys we were looking forward to stepping up. Mm-hmm. You know, the Greg Russos, the AJ Epenesas, the Boogie Bashams.
AJ Epinesa quietly got like 5.5 sacks.
5.5, yeah. I looked at his stats the other day.
I said 5.
Sneaky.
He on that 5.
Man, sneaky shit, man. He out there looking better than your man Ryan Denny, man. Know what I mean?
Not Denty.
Mexican Chris Kelsey?
I say Chris Kelsey.
Man, he ain't Mexican. What is he, Hawaiian? I don't want to fuck that up. What is AJ Epinesa? Or Samoan?
I don't know, man. Right now, I feel like
Rita, I don't know.
You getting real Jerry Sullivan.
Y'all tell. Don't do that to me.
I gotta Google it.
Right, we got to be politically correct.
AJ
politically correct.
What is AJ Epinesa? Why did AJ Epinesa? Come on, man.
I think he got to be
I don't know, man.
Samoan.
Oh man, you out here guessing, man. I don't know, man. It was personal life. Got nothing on him. He got to be his.
I think that I seen the tattoo. And he was explaining it.
His cousin. I don't know who his cousin.
Where he was born.
I don't know, but his cousin Jacob Tuiato.
So all right.
Yeah.
Either way, AJ is balling. Of course, Matt Milano. Of course, Tremaine Edmonds. Like the young guys stepping up. That was the main point I'm getting to, and I feel like the defense right now is reaching a point where they feel like they can be dominant every time they step on the field. And I think they're feeding off the energy, obviously, of the young guys, but the veterans too. You got Jordan Poyer getting more healthy. You get Tre'Davious out there. Every snap he's taking, he's getting healthier.
He is
Samoan, okay. And then
Samoan Chris Kelsey.
Samoan Chris Kelsey. But way better than Chris Kelsey. So from a standpoint of defense, I'm looking at whoever we play, and I'm just like, this defense, when we get to the playoffs, is really gonna pin their ears back.
Yeah.
And that's what I look forward to.
The linebackers are playing out of this world right now.
Top 2. Only ones who I'll give an edge to is the 49ers linebackers.
The pair, Fred Warner's disgusting. Mm-hmm. The pair of them
Greenlaw
collectively right now, like, they're playing so fast. Like, the way they're diagnosing stuff and hit it and go. Like, Edmonds is making tackle for losses consistently.
Yeah, it's becoming a thing.
The hole, hitting you hard and you dropping.
Yeah.
Milano, obviously. I don't, salute to Mike White. Because I thought that man, listen, they would have had to bring the stretcher out.
He took the soul, man.
I'd have been gone.
He took the man soul.
Y'all had to bring the ambo out. Not even the stretcher.
And then
they
brought him back in. Wow.
Yeah, they tripping. Like, but he playing for his career.
I know. I get it, but still.
But no, not me. I'm not built like that, dog. Mm-mm. You would hit me like that.
Yeah, Milano playing at an all-pro level. You can argue that Tremaine's playing at an all-pro level.
Mm-hmm. Rousseau, 2 sacks.
2 sacks. Playing at a Pro Bowl level.
Tackle for losses, pass breakup.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Poyer doing Jordan Poyer stuff with a chicken wing.
With a chicken wing. Like I said, every snap Trey takes, he's getting back in the shape.
I will say I need to not see Dane Jackson out there taking 100%.
I knew I had to get to something. Yeah,
like
please. I'm gonna move, and we gonna move on to the Miami game. But dog,
I don't like.
They gonna make me mad.
The Bills coaches are loyal to a fault.
To a damn fault.
Like, I know, and I also know they're not gonna throw a player under the bus to the media. But when they talking in some of these interviews, y'all talking about some old bullshit. We see this.
Some dumbass shit. Like, don't give me.
We kept him in good. It was a good game script. He was playing good. No, the fuck.
And then when they ask you about Elam, you talking about, well, we just he's working, man. He's working, trying to work on the techniques. And yo, stop telling me about that shit. I don't give a... Listen, I'm telling you right now.
Cooked.
I'm telling you right now.
Every third and long, they
get my first round corner out there. Now, I give them credit. He was active this week. But I said they're going to get me pissed off. And I'm trying to do the whole trust thing. Get my first rounder out there. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, listen, the comments was funny because I was... we were driving home after the game, and I was just reading some of the Twitter comments after the game, and everybody was on the same page with the whole Kyrie Elam shit. Like, yo, free him.
Yeah, I'm not saying Dane Jackson is a bum. I'm not saying he's not.
Well, sure not. Player. He is who he is. He is what he is. He can play in the NFL. He's a good depth piece. He's a good guy to have. Oh, if you got an injury, you need a guy to step in for a couple games. He did it last year.
You'll be fine.
The point is that you're trying to put in, like, you just picked up guys off the street.
Bro, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. Why are we forcing Dane Jackson to stay on
no.
Yes, he filled in for Trey last year, and he filled in for Trey this year and held down that two-corner until someone better is there. But
appreciate you, bro.
You drafted a very athletic corner with length and size and with actual ball skills.
Yeah, come on, stop playing.
And you still letting your seventh round pick.
Are we really forgetting what the man did? I still go back to the interception in the red zone against Pat Mahomes. He took that ball away.
Dane Jackson ain't touch a ball in about 5 weeks.
He been around him.
Yeah, so I need that to change. Again,
don't get me started.
We've seen the last couple weeks Miami and their receivers in their passing game really struggle against press corners. Who's
your best press corner outside of Trey?
You have a corner
Kyer,
who specializes in press corner or press coverage in college
and got speed
in the SEC with the length and the size to do it. If they roll out Dane, I'm gonna
roll myself out.
I'm not gonna be on Twitter. Wow.
Nah, I know. Yeah.
I'm gonna be talking mad shit.
Listen, stop playing with me. That's all I gotta say. Stop playing.
Leslie, stop playing.
Somebody. If it's Leslie
or the defensive back coach, I don't know who's making the final call. I really don't think it's McDermott making the final call.
I hope not, but
I really think McDermott lets his coaches coach. But whatever defensive back coach, or if Leslie's making the call, Bobby Babbitt, no, he don't mind backers now. But either way, listen.
Stop playing with me.
Let my man 2-4 get out there and play.
Please.
Put Elam and White on one side,
please,
and let these boys rock.
Stop playing. Anyways, don't get me started with that. Miami, 2 things you looking forward to most?
Starting Elam. 2-4.
Please, man. Don't make me put a sign out. I'll walk out there with a sign like this.
Yeah, but what I really want to see, I want to see how this team responds to losing to Miami.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, we on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah, no. How they respond to that loss, because they know what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't think the players are completely naive to what takes place on social media.
Yeah.
They saw what analysts were saying. They saw what fans were saying.
Miami was the best team in football.
Miami's the best team. They're going to win the division.
Yep.
They got the Bills number.
Yep.
Tua can't be
Tua's
stopped.
top 5.
Hill can't be stopped.
Yep.
Tua MVP candidate, yada, 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 yada.
Yep.
They heard all that. They know it took 120 degrees on the sideline to get beat.
Which is cool.
6-7 injuries, and then 5-6-7 injuries in game for them to win by 2.
Down both of our great safeties.
Yeah. So again, I just want to see how they respond, and I really need them to come out with a chip on their shoulder and beat the hell out of Miami. So that's what I really want to see is how they come out, how they respond, and see if they took that personally. And I really hope they did. But I also wish it wasn't a blizzard because I just want them to come out.
Yeah, Fairfield, whatever, blah blah blah. But you know what? I think they always say Mother Nature has a sense of humor. This is it. The schedule guys have a sense of humor.
I heard they had heaters on the sideline
for 55-degree weather. Yeah, for a dome is wild.
I said, you need a heater for 55.
Y'all saw.
Yeah, you don't even know when.
I don't want to talk. Hey, listen.
It's a fan blowing right now. And you cold? All right, so let's drop 35 degrees off of that. Let's add some wind and some snow.
Yeah.
They make them bring their own heaters.
Make it rain. Listen, it's going to be different. Listen, it's going to be a game, and I'm going to just get straight to my point because I feel like this is another game where it's a divisional rival, and this is just about just playing Buffalo Bills football. Like, they have a new brand of football, And I think this brand of football is just really like bring it. If you're going to pay the Buffalo Bills in 2022, 2023, it don't matter if Jordan Phillips is playing or if it's just Daquan Jones, Tim Settle, and Shaq. You gotta
pause, yo,
go ahead.
Just remember your thought. I'm happy you said that. Daquan Jones balled out last week.
He did.
I meant to.
He did. Great run defense.
That was probably
man.
his best game of the
One
season.
of his best, yeah, because he's been balling all year.
Yeah, but I just want to point out and shout out Daquan.
Yeah.
Only one on D-line played every game this season.
Man,
so
Mr. Reliable, man. Knock on wood.
Carry on, my bad. I just had to shout out.
Nah,
Daquan
but
for another good week.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like that goes into, the style of play that we've seen from Buffalo this year is like, no, we're not running the ball, I think, as great as we should be, but this is still a physical team. So if you're going to play the Buffalo Bills and you're going to try to beat us or make us slow down the game, the Bills are telling you, like, okay, cool.
We can play that game.
We can play that game. We got Tremaine Edmonds here. We got Matt Milano there. We got Daquan here. We got Tim Settle here. Oh, yeah, we got Ed Oliver right here. We got Shaq right there. We got Greg right here. So what were you saying again? Oh, no, I was saying, like, huh? I was saying I like the song Slow Down by Bobby V. Yeah, so
what I do like about the weather this week is, we really looking at wind and snow? Oh, you think you can be hitting them quick hitters all day? Because you get a little press.
And we pushing that pocket.
Yeah, you get a little press off the line and your first read ain't there.
We pushing that pocket.
And you got to, if they could collapse the middle, you got to throw to the edge in the wind and snow.
It's a different kind of game.
And you're not ready for that.
And to me, I haven't seen every Miami game, but I haven't seen Miami win ugly yet for them to give me that feeling like, oh, I need to be scared if it's a low-scoring game. Like, we haven't seen that from Miami yet. Most of Miami wins have been them scoring 30, 35, 38 points, which is cool because, hey, listen, you played in South Florida.
Yeah,
like, you got the sun. Y'all able to run as fast as you want to. But the thing about football in January is sometimes that weather will change. And you got to be able to put out a football team out there that's going to be able to do it in a dome.
And
that's going to be able
really
to do it
don't
outside.
have a running game right now.
Right.
Jeff Wilson banged up.
Right. Guys is banged up. The offensive line hasn't been stellar. And it's not like our offensive line is either.
Right.
But we still have the players who can adapt to the different elements. You got Devin Singletary that
throw it through all.
Right. You got a quarterback who can throw it through it. You got a quarterback who can obviously run through it. You got Devin Singletary, who's been here now 4 or 5 years, who has dealt with running in the snow. James Cook, this will be his first time dealing with the elements as far as running in it. But Nyheim Hines, I just think that from a game plan standpoint, the Bills should be able to game plan better for the elements versus Miami because right now you asking Mike McDaniel, who came from, not Mike McDaniel, is that the last name?
Yeah.
You asking him, who came from San Francisco, to say, okay, all right, we need you to change this to game specific to make sure we come out there with a win. So we're going to find out how great of a play caller he is in that offensive coordinator because they're not going to be able to do what they normally do, which is quick to hit deep.
Probably not.
So they're going to have to be creative in their own way, which, hey, you got some speedy guys on there. I'm pretty sure they can try to do some end arounds to Waddle or same thing with I'm about to say ankle because I was about to mention he got an ankle injury. Tyreek Hill.
On that ankle.
So we'll see what happens with him and his ankle injury throughout the week. But it's a short week for them too.
Yeah.
You
coming
know,
off the Sunday night
coming off the Sunday night game.
2 back-to-back games.
Right. You got to travel to
LA.
Buffalo on Friday and hope that you don't run into no weather when you're coming in on Friday.
Thing is, I mean, them deep shots look different in the wind.
Oh, yeah.
So don't let one of them things get
It
caught up
ain't
in there.
Drew Bledsoe to Eric Mose.
Yeah, don't let one of them things get caught up in the wind. You got one of them safeties back there hanging
Jordan
out.
Poyer.
Or worst case scenario, that joint hang long enough and you get one of your receivers killed.
By DeMar Hamlin?
Yeah, because he don't care about nothing.
Listen, he a hitter. And we already talked about him long enough, but that's the one thing I respect about DeMar Hamlin. He's no Micah Hyde at all.
It's a missed tackle.
Micah Hyde is right here. DeMar Hamlin is below him, but one thing DeMar going to do every game, he going to give you a hit. He going to give you a hit. And last week he had the forced fumble, so, hey, shout out to him continuing to grow into his role because obviously we're going to need him for the next month and a half.
Get your tackling together, brother.
Please, because I saw some stats on some missed tackles from him.
Right now.
It's looking ugly, but as a young receiver, as a young safety in this league, it's his second year.
Yeah, just to get your tackling out.
Yeah, work on your technique. Because listen, McDermott, you want to talk about technique when it comes to Elam, preach that with DeMar Hamlin just so that, we can make sure that doesn't pop up in a big game for us and, we don't have to worry about that. But, so you kind of mentioned what your two things were. Was there anything that you left out for what you're looking forward to seeing? Or is there anything that you worried about going into the game?
Worry is too strong. I feel more confident about this game than I did the first matchup.
Oh, the first matchup? Okay.
Yeah, I feel more confident in this game than I did against the Jets, too, just because I know that Miami's not bringing a top-tier defense like the Jets are.
Right. I haven't even heard from Chubb.
I forgot he even was on the Dolphins. He's rushing.
They only gave him about a massive deal.
He's our fourth DN right now, third or fourth DN. I don't think he's starting. But whatever, that's what
100+ mil.
Maybe next year they're ready to roll him out or unleash him. But I want to see now, because I do expect Cole Beasley to be called up this week.
Yeah,
it's not going to take long to get him up
he'll get some action.
So I want to see what type of creativity they can use.
Get 4 catches, 30 yards.
Yeah, so I just want to see what that does to the rest of the offense. Are they able to scheme Davis open a little more because you got Cole Beasley underneath? I want to see Diggs have a bounce back game.
I want to see a 4 wide receiver set.
I feel I haven't seen one a really dangerous one in a long time.
Well, here's the set I'm looking for, and I'll let you finish. Brown on the outside, Diggs on the outside, Davis and Cole in the middle, and a 4 wide receiver set.
Ooh, I would swap Davis and Diggs. That's what I would want to see.
Oh, okay. Put Davis on the outside?
Yeah.
I was just saying because Davis was so good in his first 2 years.
That's nothing against Davis. I just love Diggs out the slot.
Oh, yeah. I love when they move him around.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I will give Dorsey credit for that Dable didn't do too much. Is Diggs is definitely moving around more. And I think that's definitely led to his success with the 94 catches and 10 touchdowns. They are definitely moving. Like, even on Diggs' 30-yard reception against the Jets.
Right.
They moved him around the slot. Boom, boom.
Easy
money. So I do appreciate that from Dorsey, is that he's definitely gotten the most out of Diggs. It's just, okay, cool. Take what we got from Diggs and let's make sure we also getting other guys involved. But you mentioned a good point earlier too. No matter what you do with scheming these guys open, they still got to catch the ball.
Yep.
They still got to make the play, and it all got to work out together.
Yeah, so I want to see Diggs have a little bounce back game, just from a number standpoint.
Yeah. I feel you.
Continuous dominance.
7 catches or something.
I want to see consistency from Dawson Knox, and not necessarily from him. I want to see consistent Dawson Knox usage.
Yeah, for real.
Like, get them in the ball.
5 catches a game.
Because once the ball is in his hands, he's one of the most dangerous tight ends.
Yeah, because he's very athletic for his size. 6'6".
To get the ball in his hands,
yeah,
and not just the dump offs they've been doing. Like, okay, safety valve thing. Okay, cool. Dump off, get 5-6 yards, whatever. I'll take it. But I want to see actual routes designed for him, like working the seams, working across the middle, working some outside routes. Like, let my man get loose.
And the throw on top of what you're saying, pause, is that if you get him going now, this can only lead to better things come playoff time.
Take pressure off everybody else.
Yeah, because if another team is like, well, no, we got to make sure we got eyes on Dawson Knox, then that opens up everything else when you get in the red zone, because now Josh can be himself, and hey, maybe that's an extra person, an extra linebacker paying attention to Dawson, and now Josh got an easy 7-yard run for a touchdown.
Right.
Or now it's an easy dump off to Cook to squeeze in the end zone. Or now it's a one-on-one for Davis to hit his nice little slant in the end zone. So, yeah, like you said, keep using Knox and allow that to be a factor so that defenses have to pay attention to Dawson Knox. Like, that's my biggest thing with Knox. Is like force teams to have to pay attention to him.
Yeah, I just saw a stat that he's already the 3rd all-time touchdown getter from a tight end position for the Bills.
That's crazy.
Damn, we really ain't had no good tight end ever.
Yeah.
He was tied Scott Chandler.
Disgusting.
Like, he telling me Scott Chandler is 3rd all-time.
Disgusting.
And
I think Chandler was only here for like 4 years.
Not very long, like 4 or 5 years at the
4
most.
years?
Yeah, behind Remersma and Metzeler.
Oh, man, Remersma, though. Yeah, you know, that's my guy.
Jay was out there.
Come on,
he
what?
Was not athletic.
Yo, stop playing.
My
Big
man
as head.
had hands, though.
Yeah.
But also, I think I might have the number wrong, but I thought I saw that Diggs is 5th all-time in reception now for the Bills.
Yeah, I know he climbing up the charts. I know he 3rd in something.
That happened fast.
Oh, man, listen, man. Diggs going to break every
receiver
every quarterback
record gone. every receiver record gone, and more than likely every tight end record gone.
It's gonna be gone. Yup, in the next 3 years.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
But I agree with most of what you said. I think the only two things I'm gonna really focus on is, from a secondary standpoint, just making sure that we, no matter what the weather is like, that we're containing Waddle and Hill. And then offensively, I'm really looking forward to them, again, just getting back into a groove. The weather is really going to dictate a lot, so I really can't say what I'm really looking for. Yeah. But I will just say some type of rhythm, hopefully. Whether it's running the ball and finding holes, whether it's the screen game, whether it's the quick game. Hey, maybe you catch them sleeping and you get one deep one if the weather allows it. To a Diggs or to a Davis. So I'm just looking for some type of rhythm because I'll take 20 points all day if it just means that we were able to move the ball at a consistent rate. Yeah, and hey,
that's fair.
Division games are always going to be tougher. I always tell people that. Like, you look at the way Baltimore and the Steelers play, or Cincinnati and Baltimore. Like, when division rivals meet, it's not going to be 45-50.
Yeah. Usually not.
Usually not.
21-17.
It's normally 21-17. So
it's a fight.
Yeah. So I'm preparing myself for a close game, even though I hope it's not. Yeah. But I'm preparing for the Bills to have to, again, put on your big boy pants. These players, not only have they played in this weather, they done shoveled themselves out of this weather.
It's a Saturday night game on the
It's a Saturday night game. Like you said before, it's a payback game. Hey, we remember what y'all did to us 2.5, 3 months ago.
And the last 2-3 years, this is money time now.
Yeah.
Man, when was the last time they, outside of a meaningless last game of the season, when was the last time they lost in December? Like, I think I got to go back and check. Like, they haven't. It
was just that windy game, but that was early December last year.
Oh, man,
and we don't really want to count.
That fluke-ass game.
That December 6th or whatever that game was on Monday Night Football. But they ran the ball 92
times. End of the season, they've been clicking on all
They normally end the year on a good note. Normally a 3 or 4 game winning streak.
They start clicking. After that Hail Mary against Arizona, they didn't lose again the rest of that season. They ran off 7 straight.
And probably, like we said earlier, this is a team on a 4-game win streak. Right. Like, us as fans, like I said, we done got so spoiled to the fact where we 4-game win streak, but no, this is a team on a 4-game win streak. We know what they went through in November. We know the injuries that they're dealing with. They got one all-pro cornerback, and then they lose their all-pro Hall of Fame defensive end. So, this is all that's been going on. Left tackle gets hurt, not loses his ankle, but hurts his ankle, and he's been hampered by that. He don't normally get penalties. He has about 3 penalties the last game.
Them shits were terrible.
They were. One was a pancake. I think we've seen a couple. Them calls. I remember seeing him go off one. He was throwing his helmet or some shit.
Yeah, but that they called him back-to-back holes.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of them were holes. I'm like, wow, y'all really out here.
Right. But even him, he'll say less. If y'all, you know what I mean? But I want him to continue to play his game because he's still been one of our more consistent offensive linemen all year. I mean, if you go down the line, it's really Dawkins, Morris, and then if you want to say Bates, but he's been average. But we need more from Spencer Brown. We need more from Roger Saffold, just all around. Like, Saffold seems to be good at sometimes, especially in the run game, but I think the offensive line is going to be something I'm looking at too because this is going to be a game, again, one in the trenches. You have to be physical at the point of attack.
It's bully ball weather.
Yeah, it's bully ball weather, and it's become Buffalo Bill weather because defensively, I feel like we are at our best when teams kind of have to go and play, smash mouth.
Yeah, good luck tackling Motor and Cook in this weather with the uneven foot. And they know where they're going. You don't know.
That's why I said
somebody hit with one of them jump cuts. Singletary takes somebody out their cleats.
Right, and that's the thing that I like now is that even though Singletary is a Florida baby, he done played in this snow.
He done been here.
He done been here now for 4 or 5 years, so he ready. Like I said, James Cook, they might as well get him out here on the field all week, get his right cleats on, and because he a type of player who can do it too. He just got to get used to playing in it. But he has that quickness where he can be gone in this type of weather. He can add Shady McCoy. Shit, you plant the right way,
right,
you can get Boogie in the snow. So I'm looking forward to all of that. But I know we're approaching an hour, so I do want to get to our score predictions. I think we were a little close last week. I don't think I picked 8 points. I might have said us winning by 13 or some shit like that, or 11.
I I said 27-16.
I think I said something closer. I think I might have said 28-17 or something like that.
24-17.
Or something like that. Or it was close, or 24-13 or something like that.
30-20. It's somewhere around that.
Yeah. So for this Miami game, I know we dealing with different kind of
the weather
situation. That's a wild card. But let's call it in the middle. Let's say
it's not. I don't think it's supposed to be overly windy. I think it's just chilly with some snow.
Right.
So I don't think that's enough to completely kill the passing game either way. I'm a little on the fence about Tua because again I need to see it first to say if that really take him out the game. So I think Buffalo will still be able to move the ball. Miami's defense is still not good. I think they'll have some chance to run the ball.
Yeah, and they still missing some guys.
Yeah, so I still think they got at least 3 touchdowns in them.
Okay.
So I'm going 24-16.
24-16. Okay, that's cool. So that's an 8-point game. All right, 1 possession. Yeah, that's about close to where I'm at. I'm gonna just give him a couple more points. So I'm gonna say probably a 10-point victory, but I'm gonna probably go. You said 24-16. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 23-13. I'm gonna go 23-13. I think that the elements will unfortunately stop them from having an explosive day. You know, we're not looking at 40, 50 points. Maybe next week, you know, Christmas Eve, New Year against Chicago, we can go ahead and hit that 50 burger one time.
I need them to drop.
Yeah, drop like 50 on them boys. Yeah. So that'll be a good game that, you know, if you can run up, you know, everybody get their stats that game or whatever, you know what I mean? Throw your best parlay together for the Chicago game. But, for this week, though, like I said, with the weather, divisional opponent, Miami for them, I'm pretty sure they coming in with that must-win attitude. So
they got to. I mean, shit, they lose this game.
Oh, man, listen.
I mean, the season's not over, but they won't be in the playoffs.
Oh, they fighting. They fighting. Because they still got the Jets on
their
schedule.
They coming off back-to-back losses.
Right. And
they got Packers, Patriots, Jets after the
Man, listen, that's not easy.
None of those games are games.
None of that.
Their easiest game is against the Packers.
Which Aaron Rodgers is probably not going to go down without a fight.
Because, I mean, him and Watson had a nice little chemistry the last
And you still got Aaron Jones and what's the name over there, too. So,
Miami needs this game.
They do. So that's why I'm like, this not going to be, you know.
But I will say, Bills win this game. They damn near lock up the division. This might as well be 100%.
I think I heard the scenario is if they win and they win next week against Chicago, they'll have it locked up, the division. So
yeah, I think if Buffalo wins, I don't think Miami can catch them.
Right.
I think maybe
it would have to be either New England or the Jets.
I think it would have to be New England.
I think it would have to be New England because I guess either one.
Jets.
I don't know.
Either way,
they control their own
this
destiny.
week. They are very close to
very close, about 98%, right?
Yeah, they need to lose all 3 and some weird stuff to happen.
So 23-13 is where I'm at.
Yeah, because they got a 2. Yeah, something weird.
You got to give me for a stat for this game?
It's hard to say. I'm going to say, I don't know. I didn't look at any over-unders for the game. But I'm going Motor with at least 60 yards rushing.
Okay, that's a good one. For me, I think my lock is going to be, even with the elements, I'll say 6 catches from Diggs.
Okay.
I think he'll get back in a groove. I don't care if it's six catches for 50 yards, but I think he'll find a way to get the ball. They'll find a way to get him the ball. And I think he's going to have an impact on the game.
All right. So, Cole Beasley, over under 3.5 catches. What you think?
I'm going to go over because I got him at about 4 and 30.
Okay.
I got him 4 catches, 30 yards, a couple first downs, just to get him in some type of flow, if you want to call it that.
I need a couple John Brown catches. That's needed.
I think one.
I don't know if it'll be called up this game. I just want to see John Brown's stat sheet.
I'll go ahead and give him one too. I'll say he'll go 2 catches for about 44.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have them all called up.
But you never know. They could do both and say, "Hey, Brown, we're gonna use you for this game, and obviously this means you're gonna have to sit out the next 3. But playoffs is right around the corner. Stay ready. We're gonna need you to continue to work on the scout team, etc., etc." But like you said, who knows? Maybe they saved that. You know, you still got Cincinnati.
Say that for the Cincinnati
Man,
game.
you still got Cincinnati. So I could see them being smart and not playing John Brown, but I say if he is active and he is playing, I can easily see 2 for 44 just to see if they can connect.
To be honest, I don't expect him to be active this week. I mean, I think they definitely gonna have.
There's no need, not in a game like this.
Active.
Yeah, not in a game like this.
Gilliam active.
Yeah, in a game like this,
it's gonna be a little heavier.
Yeah, yeah. In a game like this is not the John Brown type of game. So, and even next year in Chicago, that's not nothing you need John Brown for. So, like you said, it's Cincinnati. You know, you might want to stock up on the receivers for that game because that's going to be a scoring game. You know, no matter, there's no way around it. Like, I know the defense is going to do what they do the best they can do, but that's going to be a game where you want to put up at least 35 against Joey B. Around the league, man, do you got any major upset that you looking at for week 14? Is this week 14 or week 15? I can't keep up. I think this is week 15.
That's a good question.
It's got to be week 15 because I know it's 18 weeks now in the league because it's 17 games. So, yeah, this is week 15.
Yeah, let's see what we got from our schedules. We got Saturday games this week?
Yeah, because we play Saturday.
Indy, Minnesota, Baltimore, Cleveland, Miami, Buffalo. Let's see what we work on. Nah, I don't like that at all.
Some ugly games on the forecast.
Yeah. You know what? This Jacksonville-Dallas game is intriguing.
Okay. Upset alert?
Yeah, Dallas is getting 4.5 point favorites on the road.
With the spread?
I'm pulling up that's gonna be my upset of the week. Jacksonville over Dallas.
Taking the points or just straight out win?
Nah, straight out. Money line, baby.
Okay, money line, Jags over Dallas.
Over Dallas. Because again, when their offense is clicking, they are capable of putting up a lot of points.
Okay.
So
I see mines already.
Dallas struggled a little bit last week. I mean, Houston took it to the limit. I mean,
took them to the limit.
98 yards to win.
Right.
And Jacksonville was coming up with way more punching power than Houston.
Right.
So let's see how they bounce back. I mean, keep giving the ball to Tony Pollard, you won't have a problem. And stop giving it to Zeke. But we'll find out.
You playing around. For me, I think I'm gonna go Tampa Bay over Cincinnati. Big upset for me only because I really feel like
you think there's a bounce back?
I feel like coming out of that Niners game, like I remember coming home, I was surprised watching that game and basically turned it off after a while. But
got that ass.
Unless Tom Brady is really done, which that could be the case, I don't see him playing two, solid teams and
that team just don't have the juice.
Like, it's missing
nothing
something
there.
Yeah, it's missing something, and it's surprising to see because Evans is still playing.
They got talent all
Godwin
over
is still
that
playing.
roster.
Fournette is still
defense.
playing.
Like their
Devin
O-line
White
took a huge hit this year, but it's a ton of talent. But there's just no. It feel like there's no energy.
Yeah, no energy. It's lacking something.
Unenthusiastic. Like they just going through the motions.
Yeah, and I think that you could maybe blame part of it on Brady for how that whole drama happened to start the year with him coming, him going for a week. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And maybe some of that is missing from this team. And maybe Tom can get it all back because they do still have a lead in their ugly division. So this may be a game where they're like, listen, y'all, let's win this. Let's try to get let's lock in the South. And then we'll see what happens after that.
But if Cincinnati wins this game, it's
gonna be a dogfight the rest of the way.
If the Bills slip or Kansas City slip, Cincinnati is ready to.
Yeah, Cincinnati on the hill, and you give Cincinnati credit because I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but it was the same thing. They just got better in December. Yeah. They started to find a rhythm, and I think it was last year. Last year,
they got hot.
Right, they got hot. So like we're seeing them again get healthy. Obviously, Jamar Chase is back doing Jamar Chase things. Mm-hmm. You got T. Higgins, of course. You got Mixon that's starting to get healthy.
Yeah, they're dealing with some injuries.
The defense being opportunistic.
Boy got hurt last week, and Higgins. I don't know what their status is for this week at all.
So we'll see, but that's why I got Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay gonna sneak one. Obviously, I'm gonna be rooting for Tampa Bay this week.
Yeah, there's some rooting interest.
Yeah, I got to root for them boys. There's gonna be a couple other games that's gonna be iffy. Probably gonna stay away from a lot of money line stuff. If anything, I might bet some spreads. Yeah. Because during the last 4 weeks of the year, it always get weird. Because everybody's fighting for the playoffs for the most part. I'll say 70% of the teams are fighting for the playoffs.
At least in the hunt.
You got some teams that's tanking and they don't want to admit it. I mean, look at Carolina. the ownership want them to tank, and then the coach like, nah, F that. He like, nah, we fighting. We in a division where we can still
they one game
sneak this up, right?
So, I mean,
so that's a funny situation in Carolina.
Yeah,
Houston is Houston.
Should they tank?
Probably.
But again, if you got a chance to win the division,
yeah, if you got a chance,
I think they still play Tampa.
Right.
I mean, you hold serve, take care of Tampa. I mean,
and we've said since the beginning of the year, like that's not a team that's like a scrub team. They just don't have a franchise quarterback on their team, but around the quarterback,
they got Darnay.
They got some.
They got Samuel.
They got Samuel. So that'd be interesting. But as we normally do, we don't try to push this too long. Anytime we get over an hour, I say the same thing every week. But man, any last thoughts before we sign off out of here?
Squish the fish.
Squish the fish, man.
That's it in that song.
Big Fins week. Big Buffalo. Again, we shout out to
Color Rush week.
Oh yeah, Color Rush. So if you home, like we're gonna be outside, so red or not, we're gonna be bundled up. I don't really give them
ain't no jerseys.
Yeah, ain't no Color Rush. But if you home, throw your red on.
Big Parker season.
Yeah, throw your red on, throw your red socks on, whatever you got to do. Get your shopping finished up this week. Be safe. Make sure if you got any grocery shopping to do, you do that either Thursday or Friday. If you go into the game, bundle up. Have your good liquor with you or drink enough beers where you don't feel as much. And if you don't drink beer, bring your hot tea, bring your hot coffee to the game.
Bring them Yetis.
Bring them Yetis, you feel me?
Yeti cups.
But now it's going to be a glorious weekend. I feel like it's going to be a great weekend to be a Bills fan.
Absolutely.
It's a great football weekend, too. I think it's some more good college football games coming on.
It's 10-3 season right now.
10-3 season.
Enjoy it like we've been saying all year. Enjoy the
First
ride.
place.
Let's get this dub. Lock down this division. Keep your eyes focused on that 1 seed.
On that number 1 spot.
Let's get this parade, man.
Let's get that parade, man. That's all we looking for. So listen, y'all. You already know what we doing. Another episode, another week, another Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Saturday coming. Right. Where we got to put the pedal to the metal. So listen, y'all. This is Vel.
Your boy Z. We'll see you next week.